Welcome to the Mental Performance Playbook, brought to you by the Athlete's Health. My name is Gabe Rummel, founder of the Athlete's Health, the Mental Performance Playbook, mental trainer, mental performance coach, and here to drop some exercises on us today. And today's actually going to be slightly different because what we are going to be doing is something that we have been asked about a few times now. Today, I want to walk you through what it's actually like doing a first free mental training session here so you know exactly what to expect. Because coming into this, a lot of people sometimes, they feel a little nervous. They're a little skeptical. They're a little hesitant. Like, what's about to happen here? I don't know what this is. This is a new thing. No, it is not therapy. It is not therapy at all. And that is why I want us to do this. Now, it's going to take about 30 to 45 minutes when we're actually walking through it. We're going to have a few assessments, max outs done before we get into it. But for this one, I'm just going to walk us through the flow. Act like maybe you're someone across the screen here working with us, or the occasional in person getting the training in to then apply to your actual game. That's what we got. So rock and roll with us here. It's not going to take nearly as long as an actual session would. This episode is going to be pretty short, but it's going to be pretty jam-packed. I am going to call you Jimmy, and we're going to rock and roll with it. Hey, Jimmy, how you doing? Thank you for getting on this call here today. My name is Gabe with the Athlete's Health. It is good to meet you guys because it's usually the family together. So how this call is going to go, first, I want to hear what's up, what's going on, what's the exciting news within your athletics, within life, at sport, and at home, anywhere in between. And then we're going to get into the specifics for you, your mental game, the exercises within it. Build the mental exercises from the max outs, from the data that we have, so we can go with it and we can make sure that it is for you and tailored to you. And then lastly, well, at least look at if it's something that you want to do, if it feels helpful, what this looks like to keep doing some training over the season. But that's it. Sound good? Cool. Let's get going. So just quick 30 minutes or 30 seconds, just so you know a little bit about me and in the training here, the service. I actually run the Athlete's Health, and it is a mental gym for athletes. So think about it like this. Do you do any like sprints for your sport, or maybe push-ups or sit-ups, so you're in the weight room? Mom, dad, you probably know what I'm talking about, right? You're training your body to play better, to perform better. Well, that is exactly what we are doing here at TH, a mental gym for you. So we're going to train mental strengths like your vision, your confidence, handling pressure, that composure. We're going to train it purposefully, the same way you're going to train your speed or your strength for your sport in that weight room. It's for performance. This is not mental health therapy. It's not counseling. I'm not diagnosing you. I'm not prescribing you anything. We are building these simple mental exercises for you to actually use in your performances, in your games, at school, in life. So you can tie it all back together, and it can strengthen you. It can help your mind. It can help your performance, help you handle the situations instead of hold you back. Now, before we look at your scores, I recently learned about this story, and I'm going to tell you about it here super fast, but I want to make sure that we explain what these mental strengths are. It's just a starting point. It's just a gauge of measurement. It just helps me know where you are, helps you see a little bit visual of where you may be at, where you maybe have been feeling. This first one that I'm going to show you, boom, pop up on the screen right here. Take it down. But these are just like the pillars that hold you up. Okay, we're not going to train these. Like I'm not going to train your character. I'm not going to train who you are. I'm not going to train how curious you are or aren't. That's what this mental max out does for us. But each week or each time we meet together, we're going to work on your actual strengths, the things that we can do to improve your performance. So this first one just gives us an idea of where we're at, who you are, and everything else. Because each person's different, right? If you have a cat, your cat's going to be different than someone else's cat. Everyone's cat is different. But then we're going to look at how we can progress these. We're going to look at different exercises, different topics of exercises. Just like if you do get in the weight room, maybe you're doing bench and cleans and squat and deadlift or some sprints or some of your actual specific skill work. Right now, it's a big basketball season. So we got a lot of basketball players right now. It's the free throws, you're getting the reps and right. You're training this. And that's exactly what we're about to do. So in these pillars, they tell me something about you. We're going to walk from it we're going to go from the strongest proportional down to the lowest. And this is just like how much chocolate milk, water, orange juice is in you right now. It's just roundabout area. And then we're going to go into the specifics, actual strengths for the day. Just going to look at that fast, going to show you how over time that can progress and it can look real cool once we start training it, adding these mental exercises that you just probably don't know of, that you probably just haven't used before. So we just went through all that. We just looked at that. We were spot on. I'm like 95% on telling people, of working with people and saying, hey, this is how we are. This is what I'm seeing with you. How is that relating at home? Let's get you talking. Let's get chatting. Let's see what's up. Boom, bam. Yes, you're pretty spot on. That's kind of crazy. You're pretty spot on. That's why we're the professionals. We just went through all that. Next thing I want to know before we get going in these mental exercises, because I can see the quote unquote weakest area, the area that needs the most improvement. But unless I know where we're trying to go, I'm throwing darts out of random boards. I don't know where it is. Needle in a haystack. If we're going to customize this free exercise for you, we got to make sure we're spot on where we need to start, what we're trying to go towards. And that is why we got to figure out your mountain goal. If you follow us anywhere, anytime at all, you know I am adamant about mountain goals because we got to see somewhat the top of the mountain. It might be foggy and we can't fully see up there, but we at least have a rough destination where we're going to go now, where we're taking the rest of the session. That's why we get all that information. We do the max outs beforehand so we can come in prepared beforehand and take some of this out of the way. But we find that mountain goal and we find now the first step to get to it. But first, we got to make sure we recap. We got to make sure we know everything. Everything's in place. Everything is spot on, ready to go, that we can now start, okay, lace up. Let's get going. Let's create this one. Let's get it going. So these are how the exercises work. Moose, you got to get down. We're not just going to say, be confident. Stop overthinking. Because if I tell you to stop overthinking, it's like me saying, stop thinking about a pink elephant. Boom, bam. That is what you are thinking of, a pink elephant. So we're going to create these mental exercises for you to use right here, right now. You're going to use them. They're going to use them at school. They're going to use them at practice, going to use them in the games when probably we want it. Now, it's not a one size fit all, right? This is for you. This is your framework and what we have to do. So one common one, take this, leave it. This is the exercise, why I'm dropping this here. Every time we get at least one exercise in these videos, this is the one that we have today. Classic one. There's a video of George Kittle talking about this. People use this all the time. Now, we obviously spin this into many, many different ways, versions, depending on what the athlete actually does. But this is a reset button, right? So we're going to usually find some type of trigger, a physical action with it, get a mental cue going and get back to our job. Not always like that on the free session. That's why we go through all that prep beforehand before we start creating this exercise, and why I can't just hand out some exercises. Since the main struggle that we kind of found out, the area that we want to strengthen the most is X, moving on after a bad play. We're getting stuck in it. We're getting stuck into it. We're going to build some type of reset to move that forward. Moose, you got to get out of here. So here's the idea. You walk it with me. And before this, I know some of our common things that we do. Maybe we move our fingers a little bit, or maybe we touch the jersey a lot, or we clap our hands, we roll our arms, maybe we say something. There's a lot of different ones that I call our Adele framework. I'm sorry. Hollow from the other side. But we're going to twist and tweak that to fit your specific exercise. Now we're going to walk through that. We're going to make sure we're training this. We're going to make sure that we have all the action steps ready to go, that we're hitting every single little instance that could happen. And then we are lighting you up. We're making sure that it can make that change, that you're going to now be able to move on. We get the signal. We can move on. No one's going to think it's weird. You're going to be easy. It's going to be easy to repeat. You can tie it to the next play. It's going to just flow from this. We're going to come up with it together. And that is your reset. And the rule, how to use this is pretty simple. When something bad happens, whenever whatever brings you here to the free session happens, you run over, you reset it, or you run it over is what I meant to say. You get your reset in. Maybe it's the eyes that we're focusing on. Maybe it's that reset button like I originally talked about, where you're just hitting the wrist to reset the play, tying it to a breath or saying something. Maybe understanding our awareness for ourselves. Many different things that can happen with it. But that is then what we are working on. And the other piece is pairing it with the word for this instance. Like I said, maybe we're going to be thinking next play or attack or be strong. Whatever line is something that maybe you say a lot. It's something that you already repeat, but now we're going to use it. We're going to utilize it to your advantage and strengthen your game. Then gonna have to double check. Gonna have to make sure. What is this? What are you doing? What are we walking away with today? What are you going away with that you're gonna use? And what am I logging off this screen with today or leaving the building that I know I gotta check in and I gotta make sure that we're doing this, that TAH is helping you out and training this exercise up with you and checking in daily. Because before we leave, we gotta set up our accountability, our exercise tracker. So each day, every day, we can check, yes, I did this, or no, I did not. And if we want to leave any comments behind that, so we can stay collaborative behind it and be collaborating, you easily can log into that, write it down, utilize it, and use the exercise. From there, hopefully, you have a clear picture on it. And I know you will, because I'm going to have you tell me or not if you do or not. If you have to go out and try it some more, go out and try it some more. But we have your customizable mental exercise that fits you. It's like a custom shoe. It is yours. You'll have your training log that we have started for you now that you can look at that training log. Think about it like an online notebook that we're tracking everything in, that we have everything tracking. That is not all the extra information. That's what we handle on my side, but just the information that you need to know and the parent needs to know to help out to utilize that exercise. So then that's why this first session's with the parent. Parent knows exactly what is up. Athlete knows exactly what is up, what the next steps are. And then if we want to keep working together, we'll schedule some more out. We'll get that going. But otherwise, then we at least know on our side that we helped another athlete and family out. And if you ever do have more questions on this or want to keep going, that's where we keep training together. But I'm going to pause that story here and I'm going to actually put it on the shelf and we're going to be done with it because it takes time and it takes the iterations. It takes the reps. Just like I was talking about the sprints or the form or the sit-ups or the push-ups. First time you did it, it was hard. Second time you did it, it was still hard. Third time you did it, it got a little easier. And so on, it continued. If it feels like there's an overwhelming amount of work that needs done, you're not alone. That is what always happens. Even if it's the athletes that we work with that are at the tippy top and they're just trying to get the 1-2% better so they can go D1 or they can reach the next level. There's still an overwhelming sense of thoughts, but we hone it in. You have one mental exercise to try out, to go out and utilize at school, at home, at practice. So in the game, it's not the first time you're using it. And all of a sudden, that was just 4 examples, 4 times to get the reps in. So now, if it's like your sit-ups, first time you did the sit-ups, it was super hard. Second time, it was really hard. Third time, it actually wasn't quite as hard. Fourth time, it's getting a little easier. It's the same thing with these mental exercises. Use them use it. Today, we just covered that reset button. And if you want to figure out a specific mental exercise for you, schedule the mental training session. Parents, get your athletes, get you scheduled on this. Now, if you're not ready for that, take some of the other resources that we have. We have an athlete assessment. That's like 20 questions, like the 20 question game. Or we have a parent snapshot. It's 5 questions. Take it, see what area to strengthen, see what area needs to be strengthened the most. What's the maybe weakest area that we want to start improving right away? Do that, gives you insights on the mental game and potentially the next best steps. My name is Gabe Rummel. I hope you found some value in this. I hope you understand a little bit more of what these free mental training sessions are that we keep talking about here, and that word of mouth is slowly but surely spreading. And please, like I said, and as I just walked through, there is no catch to it. Get a mental exercise. Let us know that we helped more people out because we know people need this. We hear about it. And get your training in today. Catch you next week on The Athlete's Health, or actually our mental performance playbook, brought to you by The Athlete's Health. My name is Gabe Rummel. Peace.